Hi everybody, this is Peter from OurWorshipSound.com, and today I have another video about Mainstage to show you, and this will be a little bit shorter, but I think it'll be really cool for you, and it's about setting the tempo in Mainstage. One of the greatest things about Mainstage is the ability to use all sorts of effects, including what we call time-based effects. And time-based effects add to a sound, or they change the sound at different time intervals as you play. I'm going to demonstrate some of these effects on some keyboard sounds, but you can also apply these same effects and methods to guitars, to vocals. Some examples of time-based effects include delays, like this. And another one is tremolo, autofilters, and even the low frequency oscillator, or LFO, on synthesizers. So that's kind of a more extreme example. But you get the sense of some of these time-based effects, and they can be really great. But you have to make sure, here's the key, you have to make sure that the tempo of the time-based effect is in sync with the tempo of the song that you're playing. If not, the effects are going to create their own rhythms that will clash and make no sense with what the rest of the band is playing. So Mainstage has 3 ways that you can set the tempo, and they're pretty easy to use. So I'm going to show you these 3 ways. The first is to tap the tempo, and you see guitar players doing this all the time to sync their delays to a song's tempo. To set this up, you need something to tap. It could be a key on a keyboard. It could be a MIDI foot pedal. The best thing for me as a keyboard player is to have a drum pad to tap. I use this particular hardware controller. It has these drum pads on it, and I'm going to set one of them up to tap the tempo. To do that, you need to have a representation of the hardware in the layout window, as I've already done, and I'm going to set this button to tap the tempo. I'm going to assign that in the edit window, and to do that, you have to click on the concert level rather, and then you can click on this button. And I've actually already got this assigned, but how you do that is well, let's go ahead and delete that just so you see the process. Okay, tap tempo button. It's unmapped currently. Come over to this unmapped tab. Click on actions. Scroll down just a bit and you'll see tap tempo. And now it is assigned. So let me demonstrate how this works now. I'm going to go back to the same whirly patch, and you'll hear a different tempo in the delay as I tap a new tempo. All right, one quick note that's really important about delays and changing tempos for delays, and that is different types of delays can introduce certain extra sounds or artifacts if you're changing tempo on the fly. For example, that was using stereo delay. I'm going to give an example using tape delay, and here's what you will hear if you change tempo on the fly while using a tape delay. So those sort of zapping sounds are artifacts, and the reason why that happens is because this plugin is made to model an actual analog tape delay, and that's the actual sound that you would get if you did that same procedure with an actual analog delay. So if you want to avoid that kind of sound, don't use tape delay, use a stereo delay, or the other delay options, you can use Delay Designer. Will eliminate those extra sounds. Echo is going to be like the tape delay. It's going to give you some of those extra sounds going on when you change the tempo. So if you don't want those extra sounds, just use Delay Designer or stereo delay, which is what I use most of the time. Delay Designer is a little bit more CPU intensive, but those will both give you clean tempo change effects. Now, if you're going to be sticking with one tempo and not changing it so much, the tape delay is a really cool effect, so don't shy away from it just for that purpose. All right. So tapping the tempo is one way to set the tempo. The second way is very straightforward, and that is you can set the tempo at the patch level. So going back to the last video I did, I kind of equated patch with a song. I typically have one patch per song. Sometimes I have more, but if you have one patch per song, you can simply type in the tempo for that song in the patch. So if I click on this patch, let's say the song that I use that patch for is at 80 beats per minute. So I just click this this checkbox for change tempo to, and I'm going to come over here and type in 80. Now when I switch to that sound, it's going to sync up with 80 beats per minute for that patch. Okay, so that's really straightforward. The third way that I'm going to show you is what I use 90% of the time, and that's because I run Ableton Live tracks on the same system. And so what I tell Mainstage to do is just to get the tempo from whatever Ableton is using. There are a couple of things we have to do to set this up, and it uses what's called the IAC driver, the Inter-Application Communication driver. That is completely useless information. But anyway, it's something that's already on your computer. And the first step we need to do to set it up is to access this under Applications, Utilities, Audio MIDI Setup. We open that application, and right now we see the Audio Devices window. You might have to go up to Window and select Show MIDI Window. From there, you will see the IAC driver right there. So go ahead and double click on that. This window will open up, and there's one thing that you have to do here and another thing that you can do just to maybe make things more simple. Click on Devices Online, and then from that point you're actually set to go. Down here under Ports, you can rename this. I'm going to go ahead and double click on it and rename it Ableton Live Click. Click Return, and did that work? We'll open it back up just to make sure. Looks like we're set. Okay. From that point, you need to go, if you're running Ableton, go over here and open the Preferences. Click on the MIDI tab, and down here you'll see all of your MIDI inputs and outputs. We need to find the output IAC driver, Ableton Live Click. Come over here in the middle column, which is the sync column, and click on. From there, I'm going to start one of these loops. And this is running currently at 79 beats per minute. I'm going to go back to Mainstage. And at the concert level, very important to click on that. I'm going to come down here and check Get Tempo from MIDI Input. So you can see this is moving now, but it's not anywhere near the tempo that we need to do. There's one more thing we need to do, and that is select the device. So instead of all, we want Ableton Live Click, IAC driver, and then we see it locks right in with 79 beats per minute. So now if I go to this whirly delay, listen to this. You can hear that it perfectly locks in with the loop that's already playing in Ableton. Let's try a tremolo. Okay, I haven't tried that before, but that was interesting. Alright, we'll stop that. And then actually I have these set up so that when I change tempo here, just to take it one step further, you'll see what I mean. Now you can see that the tempo is locked in at 72. Let's try a fast tempo now. There, it switches to 148 beats per minute. Alright, so maybe more demonstration than what you needed, but getting the tempo from a MIDI input is the third way, and a really handy way that doesn't require a lot of setup. If you're already setting up the tempo in Ableton, there's no need to do it twice and set up in Mainstage separately. So anyway, hopefully that opens up some new possibilities for you. And if you have any questions, go ahead and email me through my website, OurWorshipSound.com. I am going to be trying to offer some of my custom Mainstage patches and some Ableton drum loops available as premium content through the website coming up soon. And also looking to do some different things like some live streaming events. Just get together and worship online. I think would be cool. Some good things to come. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.